필리핀 경기장 도시형.
Alright guys, let's get things started with a Zerg versus Terran match here on Darkness Falls, and our Zerg player is leading off for NSHoSeo. It is no, I'm sorry, Empire. Wow, I'm just actually terrible tonight. It is Empire.Aristeo, not playing for NSHoSeo. On the right side of the map, the player that is playing for NSHoSeo is Sting.
Yes, it is. So here we go. TPC action, guys. This is a nice large map. It is rotationally symmetrical, but it's large enough that the drop lines aren't as exposed, and there's really not a lot of empty space above the bases anyway, so it's okay for drops, mutilis, things like that, but it's not one of those maps where that's the first thing your mind runs to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those games where you kind of expect to see standard play. It's a little bit bigger map, but it's not, absolutely huge, so you're probably going to see, the normal early game aggression from each side. But yeah, it's interesting. This map, now that I really think about it, is probably the map that we've seen the least kind of craziness on. This is maybe this map and what's the other one? Atlantis Spaceship. We've seen a lot of very standard play. And this, although the barracks is on the low ground, really isn't all that out of the ordinary.
No, this is very Shakura's Plateau-like, where, the second SEV down there, that's
very Korean Terran-like, too, to go for not a super early 2 racks, yeah, but it's, fairly normal timing, both of those barracks going up on 12. So he will put on some bunker pressure, and while it is a bit aggressive, it's not anything out of the ordinary. And, not even trying to hide a drone's like, oh, yeah, there you go, you got some barracks, all right, sure.
All right, I'll just go to work on these for a little while now.
Yep.
And actually, it's going to force another SEV off the line here because this one's quite a bit injured. And Aristeo, he's picking up on that. How is he going to prepare?
Oh, whoa.
And, is he going to get an SEV kill? He's certainly tearing after that one. And I don't think there's any way to stop it. Eventually, that SEV will go down, I imagine, unless he can trap it. Ooh, and now he's going to repair it. Maybe. Yep. All right. And there's a pause immediately because Sting has to wipe the sweat off his brow.
Yep, he's like, whoa, that was close. That SCV, man, he almost didn't make it.
Well, we do have an expansion coming out for Aristeo. Hatch first, of course, pool afterwards. And we're going to see if he'll have enough to defend the pressure that's coming at him. Already SEVs and Marines tearing after his opponent. Sting finally does find where Aristeo is at over here on the left side of the map.
Yep, and you can see he sent out multiple SCVs to find him really quickly. He's going to bring all those up to the top. And he's going to be able to start building bunkers, things like that. So, yeah, Aristeo's going to need to pull out all of his bunker rush defending skills to hold this one. And let's see, I haven't really seen a bunker rush on this map yet. I'm trying to see if there's any nifty little place you can kind of hide the bunker or build it, to trap the Marines. It doesn't look like it is. Doesn't matter. Aristeo defending this pretty well.
He is pulling a lot of drones off the line and moves them directly into the fire of 3 Marines, though. So Aristeo has lost quite a bit of mining time. He's got a spine crawler coming up now. There's 4 links, but 3 Marines are already out. Looks like they're going to start tearing after a couple of those Zerglings. They have gone down. Both the SCVs have died, however. Another SCV making its way up to continue constructing that bunker.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that bunker's going to finish, though. We'll have to see. I mean, Aristeo's got a good amount of lings out. He's got the spine crawler getting pretty close to done here. Yeah, there's the cancel from Sting, and he's just going to pull back. Neither player really losing a whole lot in that regard. Aristeo just having to make a couple extra lings.
And looks like he's going to continue making a couple more as well, just to ensure that he stays safe. That's going to put him up to a total of 12 with that spine crawler up the front. It's going to be very hard for that pack of Marines to try and sneak on by to the main, for example. And second Queen finally being added now.
Yep. With the spine crawler thing, you'd think the Zerg would just evolve something that it would just have like a flat bottom and just kind of scoot around.
Yeah.
Because then it wouldn't need to burrow in. It would just plop down and just sit there.
Well, everything else in the Zerg arsenal has burrow movement or something along those lines. You would think the spine crawlers could just shift themselves every now and again.
Well, if spine crawlers had burrowed movement, then they would be lurkers. Well, lurkers could move all burrow, but you get the idea.
I know what you mean. So, and if they were invisible, and all of a sudden we're making a lot of Zerg players happy.
That's right. And if they flew and were invisible and shot missiles to the ground, then they'd be banshees.
A lot of things would be, as a matter of fact.
That's right. If they're big and bulbous and exploded when they touched something, they would be banelings.
That's true.
There's lots of things that spine crawlers could be if they were completely different than they are.
That's absolutely true. I have not heard a more true statement today. All right, well, actually, the SCV doesn't die. One shot onto the SCV, one shot onto a Marine, as that was a target fire from Aristeo there. Third barracks coming up now for Sting as he finishes his expansion. Fourth barracks, as a matter of fact, with double gas.
Yeah, he's going to be powering out a lot of bio units here. And this is going to be interesting. We'll have to see if he decides to stick just with Marines, or if he decides to go for some sort of like Marine Marauder medevac composition. Like we do see some players still try. Bio is a bit riskier to do against Zerg just because it's relatively easy to get your units surrounded by speedlings and banelings and taken out that way. But there are still a lot of players that try to do that from time to time.
And Aristeo, he's trying to be diligent, scout around the map, and he's going to pick up on this SUV, actually. That's going to have to run away, or really actually just die. No, he does make it away. S.Sting reinforces now with a few Marines. So he's still got the threat of a lot of bio units sitting on the map. But Aristeo has been able to stabilize now. His drone count is up to 34, so it's increasing nicely.
Yep. So, again, things pretty standard here. I mean, the build from Sting is a little bit... I guess you can't really call that standard. It's a little bit outside of the standard. He is going for a lot of Marines and combat shields. But in general, you know, not anything too crazy yet.
And we'll see how aggressive he wants to get, because that pack of Marines is actually getting considerably larger than I had anticipated.
It's getting dangerous.
Yeah, not going to any other tech, though, but I do not believe we have a hint of a Baneling Nest out
just
of Aristeo.
Started.
Oh, wow,
yeah,
just started. That's what I was waiting for.
Yep, yeah, and it is about the time to get that, too. I mean, Aristeo knows that that Marine push could be coming soon, so he wants to make sure to get that Baneling Nest, get some Banelings out, stay safe. He's got a good amount of speedlings on the map already, and, you know, we've all seen the Zerg players wrap their speedlings around the back of the Marines and then hold them in place so the Banelings can hit them. And if he can get everything in good position, he shouldn't take really very much damage at all from this, even though that is a scary group of Marines.
Now, this is a very large map, as we mentioned before. Not ridiculously, but still a very large map, but only has one Zelnaga tower watching the middle.
Yeah, I like that.
Thus, Aristeo not going to be able to pick up on this ahead of time, loses a queen right away.
Yep, and a scan to take on some of those creep tumors as well. So he is coming in. The Baneling's not finished yet. Oh, a very long way from finished. Aristeo not quite prepared for this. Oh, no, Aristeo's actually in huge trouble. You're taking out all the Banelings before they morph. Oh, what a disaster. Yeah, it looks like Sting is going to take this game. I don't know, it's going to be pretty tough for Aristeo to defend.
Yeah,
a little bit of micro, yeah, and everything dies.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a lot of time to morph in Banelings. Looks like he's going to retreat and give up the natural for the time being.
Yep.
And it looks like he is morphing in some Banelings now. None over at the natural. They're all popping up inside of the Bane right now. But this is still a huge amount of damage that's been suffered by Aristeo.
Yep, units running into the Marine Mobile Meat Grinder. Look at that. Nice spread on the Marines by Sting as well, getting prepared for anything that might come down that ramp. Just keeping one Marine up there.
Yeah.
Let him know.
And,
yeah, he should be prepared. Yeah, excellent spread.
He's even got some down here as well, so we can pick off a couple of Banelings with the vision of the high ground here from this Marine. And it looks like he wasn't quite prepared for that, but look! That's so good. He's losing one Marine per Baneling right now. Yes, he's going to lose that front line of units, but he's got so many reinforcements coming in, there's nothing Aristeo can do about it.
Yeah, hardly even really needs some micro. He does lose a lot of those Marines, but the reinforcements should continue to do damage here, and he's just content with killing these hatcheries at the natural, too. Yeah. No reason to run into the main and take that risk. He's going to kill both of these first. And at that point, Aristeo is going to be very far behind. Oh, wow. Sting, though, not paying attention. Are you serious? That hatchery has one hit point, and those hatcheries have a combined total of like 30 hit points right now.
23.
Wow.
That's insane.
I can't believe that. I mean, Aristeo still lost a lot of drones here, but he kept the hatcheries alive. That's really important, man.
Yeah, he is still considerably far behind in this game, but that's pretty ridiculous. I mean, I'm sure Sting also was feeling incredibly confident at that point and just figured that Aristeo was going to give up the game. So
just goes to show you can never stop paying attention. You know, you can never assume that things are all wrapped up in StarCraft 2.
All right, well, let's see here now as Aristeo just sharking around the map with a pack of Zerglings, trying to catch a couple of things off guard. Not going to be the case right now. And Sting, yeah, I figured this was going to happen. He's just going to pick right up in a couple of medevacs and head out for a big old drop.
Yep, still relatively safe in his base as well. It would take a lot of Banelings to break that wall, and Aristeo definitely does not want to invest in that right now. But should see the drop coming across the map. Yeah, and he is heading back in the main, so he's going to be ready to engage this.
Yeah, I just checked his vision. He does know it's coming. So no Banelings right here, though, and he's just attacking into a wall of Marines. Those Zerglings are actually going to die very quickly now that Stim is done, and we have medevacs as well.
Bye-bye, Queen. Just a little bit too late, and he's going to lose a lot of Banelings again, or a lot of Zerglings here, too. And nope, maybe not.
All right, well, he does lose the queen and mitigates the damage as best he can, but he's still down at about half the supply of his opponent now. Those hatcheries now have 100 hit points between them almost. So
there you go.
Hooray! They're making their way up.
Regen's kind of nice to have. But yeah,
Yes,
what
it
Aristeo
is.
needs to do now, if he wants to stay in this game, is going to be very difficult. He needs to walk that razor line where you need to produce enough drones to kind of get back economically, and you need to produce enough Zerglings and Banelings to stay safe. And you have to kind of just like hope that the Terran doesn't push with siege tanks at this point. You're just like, all right, well, I'll try to live.
All right, well, here comes Sting, and it looks like Aristeo is actually going to be able to clean up that first pack without losing those hatcheries once again. Again, he's just doing anything he can. Now, you're absolutely right in terms of walking that line. And it is quite the dance. So
you can see behind the Sting producing tanks as well, so kind of gearing up for that big final push here.
All right, so here comes Sting once again. Banelings hitting, though, taking out the front line of Marines there. A few more coming in after that, but Aristeo's got enough to defend a small group of Marines that's sitting out there. It's a medevac coming along the... Oh, no, actually, that was just a little Marine. Thought that was going to be a drop along the back there, but it's not.
Look at that, too. Aristeo getting 2-2 upgrades right now for his Zerglings and adding the Infestation Pit on, so he's done a pretty nice job recovering from this. Normally, he'd, of course, want to be on 3 bases right now, but... all in all, he could be in a much worse situation. He's done a great job.
Yeah, I mean, just those... I mean, the difference in that 23 HP of the hatcheries being dead is the difference in Aristeo being in this game or not right now. So.
Yeah. If those hatcheries had died, he would be also dead, I think, at this point, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very, very lucky that Sting didn't end up killing those.
All right. Well, I mean, again, it's hard to overstate, but Sting is still at a huge advantage in this game. He's up by 60 supply. He's now on tanks with siege mode. He's got his own upgrades rolling for his Marines, so he's going to continue and try and press in just a second. Aristeo could do a little bit of a counterattack here in a second, but he doesn't have a ton to defend right inside of his base now. Yeah, I mean, if he decides to counterattack with this, he's going to definitely lose everything in his base. So I think we're going to see him come back. We'll have to see. He might just decide to cut off reinforcements, too. Oh, wow, he is counterattacking. Oh, man. Oh, that's not efficient. No, lost a couple of Banelings there. At the same time, we have an attack right up to the front. Banelings hit a couple of SCVs. Not going to be enough, though. Aristeo still defending slowly but surely up at the top. He's got 3 Infestors popping out as well, and his hopes kind of rest on those being incredibly cost-effective. Well, from the way Sting is pushing this, I've got a feeling he thinks that Aristeo has a few more units than he actually has. He's just playing this very, very safe, which, you know, why not? I mean, he's on 3 bases, his opponent's on 2, he knows he's way ahead. Yeah, after that, he should know that it's time to at least stim some units up, and that's exactly what he does. And, nice fungal, though. Yeah, pins a couple of units in place right now. Sting going to continue to try pushing up through the front. You know, Aristeo took a lot of damage from that Marine push, but we're kind of seeing how good he is at actually staying in games. Fungal's another group of units, but my God, there's so many medevacs in the air that all of those Marines stay alive through that first blast. Call this guy the cockroach Zerg, man. He just doesn't die. He'll be, he and Twinkies are the only thing that's left after the apocalypse. No kidding, and Share. And Share. That's right. And the hatchery trying to be focused down by Sting. No, he's not focusing it anymore, going after the Infestors instead. Yeah. And there it is. GG. Game number 1 goes to NSHoSeo. They go up 1-0 in this best of 9.